Hi everybody. Let's get started on chapter 13, the Goth era, Gothic. So here we have our learning objectives. You might find something in here that's interesting for a topic for your final paper. Never know. And the timeline, and I highlighted an important fact there. And here's our map. So cool to see what things look like so many years ago. And this is the Abbey Church at Saint Denis. Just as Spire Cathedral was the burial church of the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire, the burial church for the kings of France was Saint Denis. At Saint Denis. And Abbot Suger is credited with remodeling Saint Denis. This is, wow, incredible. So these radiating chapels, notice how there is much of the stonework that's removed to make it super lightweight. So during the Byzantine period, colored glass in churches reflected light, which is what we were talking about in the Byzantine period, but Gothic glass filtered the light that passed through it. So a new innovative technology. And here we've got the Abbey Church again and the plan for the Abbey Church. Okay, head of Moses. Again at Saint Denis. And this is the, oops, wow. It's like going off on it by itself. Okay, so this is Chartres Cathedral, hugely important. And the Royal Portal. So there's lots of information about this part of the church that we need to know. The Royal Portal of Chartres was carved in the early Gothic style. These portals are part of the Chartres Cathedral, obviously. And Terry of Chartres is thought to have conceived the complicated iconographical portal program, all of this, for Chartres. Episodes from the lives of the Virgin and Christ are carved on the capitals of Chartres Cathedral, uniting all three doorways. So see how they all kind of match and go together. The source for the depiction of the Virgin and Child on the right portal of Chartres Cathedral is the Byzantine Theotokos. So there we go, always recalling earlier works. And the jam statues at the Royal Portal of Chartres. The aspect of the portal sculptural program of Chartres Cathedral is that most different from its Roman counterparts is the prominence of Mary in the portal scenes. The high Gothic nave vault, as developed at Chartres, included the four-part ribbed vault. Images of Old Testament kings and queens appearing on French church portals are meant to represent ancestors of Christ. So that's interesting. And this is Lyon. Lyon Cathedral features Romanesque, sexpartite, rib vaults. So that means they just have 6 parts. The new Gothic feature that appeared in Lyon's nave elevation is the triforium. So that was a new architectural feature. And this is the west facade. The feature visible on Lyon Cathedral that became standard on French Gothic facades was a rose window. And we certainly remember that from the Byzantine era. Okay, here we have some diagrams of rib vaults. The lowest stone of an arch is called a springing stone. So I guess, it's holding all the weight, so everything springs from there. And this is Notre Dame. The innovative feature of Gothic cathedrals that is an external support that counters the outward thrust of the nave vaults. They are called flying buttresses. And we've heard that before. Okay, this is the High Gothic era. So the High Gothic nave vault, as developed at Chartres, included the 4-part ribbed vault. So as we see here. And this is an aerial view. Isn't it amazing? Wow, so gorgeous. Okay, and here's the plan. And some parts that we've seen before, right? Radiating. And the interior. How amazing it is. It is. Okay, so here we have some nave elevations of 4 French Gothic cathedrals and how they get higher and higher and higher and higher. And let's see. So here we have a detail of a stained glass window. A craftsperson who cuts and shapes pieces of glass is called a glazier. And another beautiful stained glass work. And here's a rose window. The round center image of a rose window is referred to as a roundel. Makes sense. Okay, Saint Theodore. The name, whoops, oh dear. The name of this sculpted figure is Saint Theodore. To be noted. And we have some more saints here. Gorgeous. Incredibly detailed work. Okay, and interior of Amiens. And again, Amiens interior, clerestory. Let's see, west facade of Amiens. And again, Amiens. Incredible. Okay, so here we have Reims. So we have some notable things happening with the Reims Cathedral. These are the artists who created it. And this is the west facade. Note that the Reims portal sculpture of the Visitation differs from earlier portal sculpture because the columns do not restrain the figure's movements. So they're not kind of enclosed within the columns. They're kind of protruding outward from it. So that's a notable point. Okay, this is Sainte-Chapelle. With its walls of stained glass and delicate ornamentation, it's most representative of the Rayonnant style. Sainte-Chapelle is considered a masterpiece of the Rayonnant style. The development of the Rayonnant style is connected with the court of the Louis IX. Pretty big stuff. So incredible. How on earth? I mean, look at this. It's all walls of glass, basically. So, just incredible. Okay, so many Gothic cathedrals were dedicated to the Virgin Mary. You see that a lot. The Virgin of Paris is an example of the late Gothic court style. And the pose associated with the court style was the S-curve. So we're going to see this again and again. So they call this pose the S-curve. And it is most typical of late Gothic sculpture. Okay, this is Saint-Maclou. And the name of this late Gothic church, Saint-Maclou, is an example of the flamboyant church style. I never knew where that word came from, but it is. It is pretty flamboyant. Okay, aerial view of Carcassonne. Incredible. Okay, this is in Belgium, actually. The distinctive feature of the hall church, like this one, is side aisles as tall as the nave. And pretty amazing. House of Jacques Correr. This building is actually a residence. So this was his house. All right. He's living pretty well. And funny that the female figure in the upper left quarter of this image, her name's Blanche. Blanche de Castile. Pretty interesting. And, oh, goodness. Ink and tempera. So beautiful. Okay, this is the Psalter of St. Louis. The intense color of elegance of the Psalter of St. Louis is thought to imitate stained glass. And this is Master Honoré. The name of the artist who painted this image, Master Honoré. Okay, Jean Pucelle illuminated the Belleville Breviary. So innovative features of the Belleville Breviary, such as the three-dimensional architectural setting, look at that, indicate that Jean Pucelle had studied in Italy. So we know from his style where he learned his craft. Okay, more work from Jean Pucelle. Paris was the center for book production at this time, and it made it the intellectual center of Gothic Europe. In the Gothic period, cities were the primary centers of intellectual and religious life, such as Paris. Figures based on geometric shapes. So interesting, isn't it? Okay, now here we have another S-curve in the Virgin of Jean Devereux. So the Virgin of Jean Devereux, Mary is shown in her roles as both the Mother of Christ and the Queen of Heaven. This is amazing. So the original function of this object, lid of a jewelry box, is of a jewelry casket. So carved of ivory and detailed in iron. This is Santa Maria in Spain. And check out this map. Whoa. How did they figure this out without planes? Come on. Think of it. Okay, this is Salisbury. Salisbury Cathedral possesses the essential characteristic of English Gothic architecture. So that is notable. And this is in Salisbury again. And here's the plan for it. The nave of Salisbury Cathedral has several French Gothic features, such as compound piers, four-part rib vaults, and pointed arches. Let's see those down here. And the term for the architectural members visible at the lower central part of this image at Wells is scissor arches. I guess because they're so sharp and precise. Okay, the tomb of the English monarch, Edward II, is located in Wells Cathedral. Incredible place. Okay, here's Exeter. Wow, we're getting to have so many ribs. The Gothic is flamboyant, as they say. Okay, Gloucester. And Westminster Abbey. Okay, so fan vaulting, that we see many, many, many ribs, was a common feature in the late Gothic region of England. Wow. The Chapel of Henry VII. Okay, here comes a notable artist, Nicholas of Verdun. And this is the Sacrifice of Isaac. This is the big thing that he made. Okay, so the tomb of the English monarch Edward II is located in Wells Cathedral, like I said, but there's more to it than that. This Shrine of the Three Kings is a reliquary. So that means it was a container that housed a relic, a sacred relic. Okay, Death of the Virgin, crucifixion. He's going to come up again, the Naumburg Master. So lifelike. Okay, the 14th century German sculptures of Eckehard and Jutta at Naumburg are significant in that they are convincing images of real people. So not just, religious figures or things like that. Got another equestrian portrait. Okay, this is the Röntgen Pietà. The Röntgen Pietà provides the starkest contrast with the Naumburg donor statues. So wow, this is very different, and it is notable. This is German. Okay, Gerard of Cologne. Wow, Cologne Cathedral, incredible. And seeing it from an aerial view. Wow. Okay, St. Elizabeth in Germany. This is the interior of St. Elizabeth. And this is the Church of the Holy Cross. Wow, they got a lot done during that Gothic period, right? Okay, so here's some additional notes that you might want to check out for your final. I love this one. And Vasari, wow, he was the writer that we've learned so much about art history during this period. Okay, and some more discussion questions, and then that's it for the Gothic area.